right, so MIKA is my absolute favorite artist to ever walk this planet, and because I like a lot of his albums, and they're all great. And today I'm going to be ranking all of them because I haven't really seen this. All right, so number seven, I have Origin of Love. This is the only album of his that I would say I don't love, or like I like this song. While it does have some great hits on it, like Origin of Love, Underwater, popular song Emily, although the French version is better, and it has some underrated cuts. Like I like Stardust is great. I think Overrated is pretty good. The problem, and even Love You When I'm Drunk. The problem is that I just don't like the effects he puts on his voice in this album. It really takes away from the experience for me and makes it not hit as hard. Like I listened to a live version of Origin of Love because I just don't like the vocal effects he puts on him. And that kind of makes this album not really that revisitable to me, which is why it is at the bottom and probably my least favorite Mika album, definitely. All right, number six, I have his French album, Que ta tête fleurisse toujours, which is when it first came out, I absolutely loved it. It has this like cloudy, like surfing on clouds, and I'm not just saying that because of the album cover, even though I might. It has this like dream-like production that I do really appreciate, but it doesn't. It after it hasn't aged the best for me. That doesn't hit as hard as it did before. It has some dancey tracks like Bouger, like Touche Touche, even though Touche Touche was longer. It has some more emotional cuts, more singing cuts like 30 secondes and Moi on dit Paris, Apocalypse Calypso. C'est la Vie's also a banger, and Jane Birkin's also a banger. It's got a good mix of bangers and soft songs, but I would say the cloudy production kind of goes against it in comparison to his other albums in terms of that it doesn't hit as hard. I'm going to be using that argument a lot. It doesn't hit as hard because that's just how I feel. That's just how the music makes me feel. But this is still a great project. All right, starting from number five, I love every single one of these albums, and I would definitely revisit them over and over again. In last place, fifth place, we have My Name Is Michael Holbrook. If you had asked me this a year ago, I would have said this is my favorite album of his. It hasn't aged it hasn't aged the best for me. I don't like on my regular playlist. I don't listen to as many songs. This is stated to be his most personal album, and I do agree. I really think this is his best album in terms of concept. By concept, I mean like the Tiny Love and the Tiny Love reprise at the end is amazing. And I feel like there's a story to this album. I don't exactly know what it is, but it does. I feel like I'm really getting to know him, and it does have some cute songs. Like I think Paloma and San Remo are very underrated. It's got it's kind of groovy, but like in a not psychedelic way, but you know what I mean, like a it's like a night at the club. You know when in like the movies when like the audio kind of goes out and like it's like you can hear like a bit of ringing. Like it's got that like nightclub after a few drinks. I don't. Is this even making sense? I've never thought about this album like this before. It's just what's coming to me in the moment. But I do think this is an artistic project by him, and he had a big vision for this album, and I really do like the final product. I just revisit the others more. That's basically it. I'm telling you, I love all these albums. All right, number four, we have The Boy Who Knew Too Much, his second album, sophomore album. I think that's what they call it in the hood. Or I don't know. But this track list is absolutely perfect. I genuinely think there's not a single skip on this track list. And I could revisit this album a bunch of times. He said like the in an interview like the main theme of this album was like teenagehood, and I can definitely see it. I this album I don't like the instrumental style as much as his other projects. There's a lot of guitars. You can really smell the Freddie Mercury on this album more than any other of his projects, in my opinion. But that doesn't really take away from it. Songs like songs with guitars like "Good Gone Girl" is an example I think of. But it doesn't even have that. It has some like dreamy, really emotional cuts. Like I really like "I See You" and "By the Time." It has some like kind of like operatic cuts, like "Toy Boy." "One Foot Boy's" a banger. "Touches You" is also a banger. And "Rain" is a classic. I listened to the orchestral version of "Rain" actually. Um, yeah, it's got a great mix of like absolutely like you're at like a bar, like you know those like old school wooden pianos you would play on. This kind of giving that. I'm just saying that because of the intro to "Blame It on the Girls." But this is a great project. I'll revisit all the time. Full of bangers, amazing, and I really like this project. All right, number three, I have his newest release, Hyper Love. This might be recency bias because every single time a new album of his came out, I thought it was like his best album. So I'm putting this down at number three. It can be anywhere from one to five, honestly. The same thing for the rest of this one to five. But this is the newest album, and I think it is his best produced. I really like the futuristic electro pop kind of production that this album has and songs, and I feel like the production really makes some of these songs. Like 11, apart like some people like I'm assuming some people would be skeptical on 11 because it's just him counting, but like the production really makes it for me. Modern Times, the production's awesome. Spinning Out, Excuses for Love. Even though Excuses for Love 11 are kind of like people call that repetitive, I do think the instrumental carries it, and or like not carries it, but like adds a lot of depth to it. Hyper Love, yeah, there's a lot of repetition on this album, but like I feel like it's meant to be an experience, and I really like the experience this album gives me, and it's just full of bangers. I could also revisit this project. It doesn't even have the electro pop. Some of these songs aren't even electric. Like Nicotine, 11, and maybe Take Your Problems with You are very like acoustic and kind of remind me of No Place in Heaven, but it that doesn't take away. I love those songs too. This is such a clean project. I really like the production especially, and I do like where he's going with in terms of his sound. All right, number two, we have his debut album, Life in Cartoon Motion. Now, in terms of like instrumental lyrics, or lyrics are pretty good, but like in terms of instrumental and overall like song production, this is probably his simplest album. Like, I feel like this album is very simple, but in a very fun way. This album is probably his most replayable to me. Like, I could play this track list a billion times and I wouldn't get tired of it. Like, he's doing that. This album's very bouncy. You know, he like songs like Billy Brown was like my most played song for like 2 years in a row. Like Relax Take It Easy is like a really emotional but like also dancey track. Big Girl, Stuck in the Middle are all bangers. And then like Happy Ending just moves me every time. Grace Kelly's a banger. Over My Shoulder is a great hidden track. I love that that's on. And it's even got like My Interpretation's one of those acoustic type cuts. It's got a lot of things, and I mean, and Any Other World is like very like orchestral. I really like this. I really like this project. It's always been so fun to me, and I've always just really appreciated visiting, going back to it. It is a classic. This was when he was at his peak popularity, and I do see why because this project is great. But number one is gonna be No Place in Heaven for me. In terms of instrumentals and bangers, this album isn't really the best. This album isn't as bouncy or as hype as some of his other projects, even though the songs like Talk About You and Oh Girl You're the Devil, um, or even the bonus track Promised Land. But still, whatever this album to me feels incredibly mature, and I think this is his peak lyrics wise. A lot of the songs, I mean, the album's called No Place in Heaven, and a lot of the songs are about like the gay experience, like All She Wants being about like the familial pressure of being gay, Good Guys about like role models, No Place in Heaven, like, you know, pretty direct, like feeling like you're not suit to be in heaven, or Good Wife, like, you know, like the oh haha, like I wish I could be like, I wish we our sexualities would line up a bit more. Those are all very like relatable like gay experiences, even though I'm not gay, but I still got to feel it through this album. It's so mature, it's so beautifully written, and it is his probably his most acoustic album. Like a lot of his cuts I feel like he could just sing at a campfire, but I really like the singing on this album as well. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention Promised Land for another gay song, which is pretty similar to No Place in Heaven, and also Oh Girl You're the Devil, more like more biblical stuff, and like calling people, what's that about, like calling people, labeling people as the devil because they do some stuff, I don't know. But I love the singing on this album as well. Not even that, like songs like Last Party, I mean, which is a kind of gay song. It's a tribute to Freddie Mercury. Like, this is such an amazing, like, just emotional album that really hits me in the heart every single time. And it is masterful. I really like this project. Um, and, well, yeah, it's good. I'm gonna end the video now. Have a good day, guys.